heard testimony. I'll recognize the gentleman from Michigan, the Vice Chair of the Subcommittee, Mr. Wahlberg, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And indeed, this has been a valuable subcommittee in looking at issues over the course of this term, doing what we're supposed to do here in the People's House, doing oversight over what goes on in very important agencies and support agencies that will assist us in knowing what's taking place. Yesterday, we had a hearing where one of the pieces of information that came out, and thanks for the panel for being here, revolved around a Washington Post article that came out earlier this week, illustrating why the Data Act is so important, as well as other evaluative tools that we put in place. When we found out that, sadly, it had to come from Bob Woodward, talking about the Department of Defense having a report that showed $125 billion of savings over 5 years simply by addressing administrative waste. What was challenging and frustrating is the fact that DOD has attempted to hide that, squash that information that they requested to be developed because it would impact their ability to spend if Congress got wind of it. Well, we did get wind of it. And when you see $125 billion of cost savings that could assist, I mean, that's at the level, reportedly, of operational costs for 50 Army brigades or 10 carrier groups. That starts to be real money, but more importantly for our troops to get away from that waste. So, Ms. Rascana, let me ask, how might full implementation of the Data Act improve our ability to identify that kind of savings at DOD?
Well, the Data Act is not only going to provide more transparency to where the funds are being spent, but hopefully it's also going to provide a vehicle for DOD management and other agencies to manage their funds and manage their programs and make sure that as obligations are incurred that they are deobligated in the proper time. Another benefit of the Data Act should be through oversight on the part of not only DOD management, but their auditors and also the Congress. And this should give more visibility to how DOD is spending their money. The third area, it would be through data analytics, where DOD can analyze the data and look for areas of fraud, risk, abuse, and potentially improper payments, and recover funds through that mechanism also.
What can you tell me about DOD's readiness relative to data?
We just received the IG's report from regarding DOD's readiness, and in their report they indicate that DOD is going to be requesting an extension. They have the opportunity to use 3 extensions of 6 months each before reporting their data. It's our understanding that the letter has been drafted, but it has not been sent forward for signature yet. We also know that OMB and Treasury were informed of this in August, so they may have some more insight for you.
I guess I'd move over there because it would be a responsibility, Mr. Mader, as you know, to report any requests for extensions to Congress and this committee. Has a request been made yet?
We don't have a formal request yet. As my colleague from OMB testified, we understand that a letter has been drafted, but the director has not received it yet.
Well, based upon that, does it appear that DOD will be ready to fully implement the Data Act by the extended statutory deadline, which could be upwards of 6 months?
Congressman, I'm not in a position today to speculate as to whether they're going to be ready 6 months after August of 16. And I say that because of sort of wearing one of my other hats and overseeing all of the federal financial audits of all of the agencies. I'm intimately involved in the DOD efforts to move towards a clean opinion, and that's been going on, as you know, for a number of years now.
A long time.
A number of years. And not making excuses for my colleagues from DOD, but the complexity and scale of that organization, the number of separate financial management systems and management systems is a real challenge. And as I think my colleague from SBA testified, sort of linking up those management systems, the multiplicity in the case of DOD, management systems with financial systems, is a big lift.
Well, I appreciate that, and Mr. Chairman, with appreciation of that, but also now having evidence that has been leaked to us in an article about $125 billion of waste, and the fact that DOD has given clear indication by what they've said and what they've done with it that they want to cover that up. This is an important thing that we push, regardless of the complexity. We're talking about the lives of troops. We're talking about the security of this country. We're talking about remaining on top as a strong power. So let's keep pushing.